If you want to build a brand on Amazon that you could one day sell, then there are 3 distinct phases that you're going to have to go through. Each phase is unique, has its own challenges, its own benefits, but in today's video, I'm going to talk you through what I believe those 3 phases are, talk you through what kind of stage of the journey I'm on, and also show you the numbers from June for a new brand we recently launched that's on this same timeline. Welcome to the channel. Today, if you're new here, my name is Ben. I'm a full-time brand builder, founder of the brandbuilderuni.com, and we are passionate about helping you build a brand you own and a life you love. And it's that idea of building a brand you own to develop into an asset that's really something that I'm passionate about. My passion is not Amazon, it's not Jeff Bezos filling his pockets, right? My passion is helping people to free up the time that we so often spend working a job we don't enjoy, taking a path we merely have to because we got to pay the bills. Time is short and we want to live life to its fullest. And one of the best ways you can do that is use your income to funnel in to assets that are going to allow you to decide how you spend more of your time. And one of the best opportunities to build those assets right now is by building an e-commerce business, by building a brand that launches on Amazon. We've seen it so much in the space recently, people talking about big companies like Thrasio buying up Amazon FBA brands. It's become very fashionable. And there honestly is a real opportunity that you can, over a period of a number of years, build a real brand by launching on Amazon and one day sell it. So much so that the BBC in the UK have even been reporting on this recently. You might have seen this article at the start of July a couple of weeks ago, and the title was pretty catchy. It says that Amazon sellers who sold up and became millionaires. It talks about a lady called Michelle Venton, who's been interviewed a lot in different podcasts and stuff about her journey on this. And it talks about different brands, even mentions and features Thrasio in there. And it talks about another guy called David Stephen who launched this brand Daveon. Hopefully that's how you say it. Sorry, David, if I butchered that. But it talks about how they kind of built this business over a number of years, just a few short years, and then sold it for 7 figures. And so in case you are wondering if this was possible at all, I'll leave the link for this article in the description below, and you can read. This is happening. This is a real thing right now. However, if you're going to achieve something like this, actually, you need to understand, I believe, the 3 phases of building a brand. Now, I'm not someone who shares these phases with you as someone who has done this complete journey, but this is something that I am on the journey of, passionate about, research a lot. And so this is kind of the journey I'm on, and I'm hoping that I can share this with you, because the reason I'm on this journey is because I've made mistakes in the past, having tried to follow a different journey that I'm going to talk you through in this video. So what I'm going to do quickly is talk you through those 3 stages. First stage, I believe, is a stage that I call cash in. It's time to put cash into the business to really fund the business, grow the business. Now, too often people want to get through this phase too quickly, and it actually hampers their journey. I would say that you should be expecting, coming into this, at very, very best case scenario, this phase to last 3 months, but more realistically 12 months, or maybe sometimes even more. Challenge with a lot of people coming into Amazon these days is maybe they watch old videos from a few years ago that tell them you can make loads of money on Amazon. Just takes you 1 month and you'll be earning loads and loads of money, when actually that's not the mindset that you should be going in to when you're doing this. You should be going into this like a real business. Now, most businesses take 2 or more years before they turn a profit. You can actually do it much quicker with e-commerce because of the aspects that you can leverage in this business. However, you still should go into this with an idea that I'm going to be in the cash in phase, not cash in as I'm going to cash in, yeah baby, but I'm putting cash into this business in order to fuel its growth in the early stages. The second phase is the phase that I call the cash flow phase. This is a phase where you're not necessarily taking loads of money out of the business, although that's something that you can incorporate. But ultimately, this is a period where you become profitable. You can start to compound those profits into reinvesting in more product launches, more marketplaces, more marketing to grow your business. And this is, can take anywhere from that sort of 12-month timeline. Really, it could be endless because you could just continue on this journey. But ultimately, the journey that I'm on and aiming for is around the 36th month phase, around that sort of 3 to 4 year period. I think it was Bill Gates who once said we underestimate what we can do in 10 years, but overestimate what we can do in 1 year. And I think so many people come into this game thinking I'm going to make loads of money straight away. Whereas if you had a bit more of a longer time frame of expectation of making good money in this business, you'd actually have a lot healthier mindset. And for me, this was the big challenge for me when I first started selling on Amazon. I got sold this dream. I got sold the dream of cash flow, and I put everything into cash flow. I wanted to make money that I could then take out of the business that would allow me to leave other employment behind and focus solely on the business that I was running. And I got so fixated on this idea of phase 2 that I really, honestly, I neglected phase 1 and phase 3. I jumped into phase 2 too quickly. I wasn't patient in phase 1, and ultimately that slowed me down in the long run because I tried to launch too many products. I tried to get too much cash flow going and then tried to take too much cash out to replace the other employment that I had at the time, when I should have stayed in the cash in phase back when I started for longer, compounded my growth, and then built from there. But I've learned that lesson, and now I'm building the way I am, and I'm hoping that I can help you build that same way too and get to stage 3, which is a stage that I call cash out. Now, this is the big day, this is the big moment, this is the big stage that you want to get to, because this is where you're going to realize a lot of the income from your business. Different people will say different things, but on estimation, over half of the money that you will ever make from your business will be the day that you sell that business, statistically speaking. And so it's a great opportunity to be able to actually build something that you can liquidate, earn a decent amount of income from, and then reinvest that money to set you up for a life that isn't dictated to by the amount of bills you have and the amount of money that you need to make with your time to pay those bills. That's the journey we're on, right? You can do this from as little as 2 years into building your business, but I think a healthy expectation is, that you want to aim for is 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years that if I really work hard, compound, put money into this business, invest in the growth of this business, and then when I get to the cash flow stage where it's a bit more profitable, then I'm going to really reinvest and compound the growth, launch more products, keep that trend going upwards so that I can then cash out. The challenge with a lot of us, right, is that we think that our business is going to grow just like this. We're going to go from 0 to 100 in the scale of success just like this. But the reality is at the start, it can be pretty slow, and we can get sometimes discouraged because we have an exciting start and sell through our first load of stock, but then it takes 3 or 4 months to get stock in because shipping is challenging right now, and we get frustrated, we want to quit because this wasn't as amazing as the gurus sold me on YouTube, right? And we can kind of be in this phase here, and it's so easy to quit. But ultimately, what the reality of growth on e-commerce, on online, often looks like is more like this. It's very static, and you keep reinvesting, you keep compounding, you keep doing the things that you know to do that are right. And then eventually the momentum and the compounding nature of what we do hits in, and we can start to see some incredible growth like this. And ultimately, so many people are going to give up in this phase here. But what is going to make you a success and what makes you different, I believe, is your ability to keep going when it doesn't look like you would want it to look. And actually, you're going to be able to see the growth that comes with compounding your money, compounding your growth, compounding your audience over time. And I wanted to share that with you because it's something that I'm passionate about, not only because I'm on that journey and I want to build brands in this way, but I think just to give you a healthy expectation so this business doesn't drive you crazy. Because we live in a world that wants to sell you quick, that wants instant gratification. If it's going to cost me money, if it's going to be hard work, if it's going to take time, then we often don't want to do it. But the reality is the best opportunity for success and real life-changing wealth. Remember that BBC article. Remember that what's happening all around you right now. Real life-changing wealth. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some money, and it's going to take some energy. But honestly, I believe it's going to be so worth it. And like I say, I'm someone that is putting my money where my mouth is. Back in February, we launched a new brand that we're trying to go on this journey with over 3 or 4 years, and excited to take you guys on that journey with us too. February, we launched. March, we had some good momentum. April, we hit some issues with some account issues and listing issues that were documented in previous versions of my monthly report that I've been doing. We're now starting to recover. May, we started to get back on track, posted nearly £4,000 in revenue. I went through that in last month's video. Today, I want to quickly take you through June June's numbers to show you how we're sort of recovering there and starting to build back into, we were just about getting towards profitability in April, which, you know, in the space of just over 2 months, it is crazy quick in that whole cash in, cash flow, cash out scenario that I talked you through. But we had those challenges and now we're, you know, recovering a little bit, which I'll talk you through. So in June on Amazon, we did just over £6,000 in revenue. I wanted to do a little bit higher. I was hoping for more towards 10,000, but actually in reflection, that's not too bad a thing, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then we also did a sale on Shopify. We are only just starting to really get into doing stuff on Shopify with emails, marketing, and, you know, with our list, etc. And so we saw one measly sale in June. In reality, we put next to no effort into actually driving traffic to our Shopify store. We're not running Facebook ads. We're not running anything, not even retargeting at the moment, because we've been so focused on Amazon, which is obviously the highest leverage opportunity for us in terms of traffic and revenue, etc. So we're not really doing anything at all with Shopify. It's just there for repeat purchases and so on. But now it's starting to get a little bit of momentum. July, we've had, I think, 4 or 5 orders, maybe £100 in revenue. It's slowly starting to grow, and probably next year is when we'll start to really start driving some traffic to that with Facebook ads, influencers, and so on. But our biggest challenge right now, which again talk about in a minute, is just inventory and not wanting to spike this business too quickly. So overall, just over £6,000 in revenue. Let's look at the costs then. Our COGS for this month, cost of goods sold, how much it actually cost to get our products made and shipped and landed into storage, and that was 2,574, which represents 42% of our gross sales. Now, I've talked about in previous versions, our end goal for this is around a third, 33% or lower. We're too high on our COGS right now, and what that is number one, inefficiencies in our supply chain, because we haven't ordered enough products in bulk to bring that cost down. So when we start to order bigger orders, 2, 3, 4,000 units at a time, we know we're going to get cheaper prices with our supplier. Our packaging will cost less, our shipping will cost less, so that's going to bring it down. But also because these products are relatively new and the review count, we're in a very competitive market. We chose a market that has massive upside, but it also does have a lot of competition. The products that we have available now, once they're optimized and scaled, could easily be 6 figures in revenue per month once everything is in play. But we're fighting there, obviously, with a very competitive market, lots of reviews, and so we haven't been able to optimize our pricing all the way up to where we want it to be yet. We're kind of on the way there, which you can see from this journey of sort of 44% of revenue in May to 42% is heading in the right direction, because we've been able to nudge our prices up a little bit, but we do have some way to go there. Next on the list is voucher rebates, and that has come down in percentage terms a little bit from last month, which again is good, because over time we're just nudging those a little bit, whereas before we might have done 10 to 20% on our vouchers. Now we're doing sort of 5 to 10%, and so obviously that's only 2% of revenue. Funnily enough, is because not everyone will click that voucher on Amazon and use it. It's crazy to me, but there you go. FBA fees and Amazon referral fees, much of a muchness. They're going to be pretty much the same in percentage terms each month. There's a few discrepancies from there. Obviously, referral fee should be 15%, but there's some sort of taxation and other sort of aspects in there that make that timing aspects that make it slightly, not the perfect 15% that it should be, but ultimately it's around that number. PPC spend, pretty much on the whole, is exactly the same in percentage terms as last month. Now, I wanted to bring this down with some optimization after we relaunched these campaigns in May. We would have done that, apart from what's affected this in quite a major way, and all of the figures really, is Prime Day, right? Prime Day was in June 21st, 22nd of June, I think it was. We had a good first Prime Day. 21st of June, we did around £1,000 in sales. The next day was a pretty ordinary, normal day, around £200. But the PPC spend was actually quite expensive. So we went quite aggressive with this. That's another thing that's factoring into our COGS percentage being high. Actually would have been lower, but we ran a couple of Prime Day deals, which was like 20% off of our top line price. So that's going to affect that in there. And also the PPC was actually really expensive on Prime Day. The numbers, I really wasn't impressed with our numbers for PPC on Prime Day. And I know a lot of other people had the same sort of issues. It was expensive out there, even though we didn't raise our bids that much. It really did get quite expensive on Prime Day. So we tried to go quite aggressive to move some units and gain some keyword ranking after the setbacks of the previous months. But obviously we paid for that a little bit in terms of the percentages there. But the upside of that, of course, is the keyword ranking that Prime Day has really helped us to establish, which is seen to be effective, because July we should hit sort of £7,000 or £8,000 in revenue. So that's good progress there. Then next up is Amazon account fee. That's a fixed amount. So again, as your revenue goes up, your fixed expense percentage versus revenue comes down, which is really good. 3PL expenses, again, we had a similar amount of stock in there. So it was the same amount that we paid just for storage at a 3PL. Insurance, again, is another fixed amount. So that's coming down as well. So in percentage terms, it's good. Revenue goes up, fixed fees come down. I did add in there a miscellaneous expenses row, because obviously now we've got our Shopify up and going. We've got that fee to be paying. What I will aim to do maybe over the next month, probably the following month, is get this all set up with Link My Books and Xero. It's been something I've been meaning to do. And I know a lot of you have been asking about putting up the process of that in terms of setting up the Link My Books and integrating it with Xero. I'm going to do a walkthrough of that for you guys when I set it up for this business, and it'll break down things a lot more line by line. But for now, I'm just summarizing that in there. If there's any future miscellaneous expenses, they will go in there. So total expenses is £6,335, which of course leaves us with a negative net profit of £220. However, for those that are like, wow, this guy teaches you how to sell on Amazon and he's lost £200 this month. That's right, baby, because we're in the cash in phase. I'm not teaching you how to make cash flow overnight on Amazon. If you want to do that, flip some products, do some retail arbitrage, spend your weekends at Toys R Us. It doesn't exist anymore. Spend your weekends at Tesco or Walmart or whatever, and flip some stuff, and you make instant profit. But we want to build something that's leverageable, that one day is worth way more than just a cash flow business could ever be worth. So we're in the cash in phase right now. We're investing in this business. However, the key metrics that I'm looking at, of course, last month was minus 7% profit margin. This month is minus 3.6%. So we are improving on our percentages. It was my aim to sort of break even this month, and we would have been profitable had it not been for Prime Day. If we'd have been a little less aggressive with our 20% discounts and our PPC, then ultimately we would have been profitable, but we wouldn't have made as much revenue, and maybe we wouldn't have got as much keyword ranking that's now helping us on that journey. The other thing to factor in as well, guys, just to sort of consider, is that I'm trying to not let my ego get in the way of these figures, because of course I'm documenting these figures for you. This is something I'm passionate about, and I would love to be sitting here, 10, 20, 30 grand revenue each month. But a few things that are holding that back. Number one, I don't really want to put any more capital into this business at this phase. I want to allow it to grow organically, really prove the business out before I go too hard in investing more money into this. The second thing that's linked to that, of course, is our inventory. And now there are some things that we could be doing that are going to grow the marketing, that are going to grow the traffic for our business and grow the sales and increase these numbers. However, we of course have to bear in mind our supply chain. And I see new sellers doing this often. They get excited and they want to just see sales growing and growing and growing. The drug of refreshing the Amazon app, and if my sales are the same as yesterday or the same as last week, it's depressing. But actually we recognize that now we are just paying the balance on a new order of inventory. Now we have, of our main selling product, around 200 units of inventory left, which is going to last us around a month to 6 weeks, and we're just paying the balance on an order now that's going to ship out. So with the way that shipping is right now, probably going to take 6 to 8, even maybe 10 weeks for that order to come through. So I don't really want to be selling more than I'm selling right now, because that's going to mean I'm going to be stocked out for longer. And as tempting as it is to grow those sales, to say, look at what we're doing here and validate all I'm talking about, I'm trying to build this business for the sake of this business. This isn't some kind of gimmick or case study that's only for content. This is a real business that I'm excited to build and want to make sure we do it sustainably. So we are kind of keeping a cap on things in terms of marketing, so on and so forth, and hopefully you kind of see that play out over the next few months as we try and sort of maintain that. We will have a stock out period, I'm sure, maybe sort of late August, early September. That will affect these numbers, and naturally that's what's going to happen, but we are working hard on making sure we stay in stock as much as possible. So that's a bit of a summary for you guys where we're at. Like I say, we are in cash in phase. I'm not looking to be in cash flow phase until January 2022, really, because we sell toys. We're coming into Q4. I'm not looking to really start taking money out or launch too many new products. I'm looking to really keep cash flowing into the business, recycling money into the business to grow this business as much as we can into Q4. See hopefully some big bumper sales, so then we can get into cash flow mode in January, where we really then start to reinvest into other product lines, compound that growth, and continue that process. So hopefully it's been a little bit insightful for you. I'm hoping each month when I do these reports to give you insight as to the way I'm thinking with it, rather than just show you the numbers, is actually talk you through why we're doing what we're doing, how we're getting there. I'm trying to be open and honest about this journey, and hopefully that's helpful for you guys. If it is, I'd really appreciate you just let me know what you're finding helpful down in the comments below. And if you're not yet subscribed, make Charlie the Cheater's day and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn actually how we've selected these products, how we've launched these products, going on the journey of building this brand, then make sure you check out the links down below for some training and resources that will help you on your way too. Hopefully this video has helped you with the mindset of building a brand you own and a life you love. I'll be back with another video that will help you to do exactly that real soon. I tried to touch the screen to stop the recording.